Now we'll be looking at how to make field update using workflow rules. In the last session, we have seen how to create field update, how to create task using workflow rules. Now let us see how to create field update using workflow rule. Now the condition. When you say field update, whenever the workflow rule is met, whenever the workflow rule, whenever the workflow rule is met, if you want to modify the value of any field of the record, we use field update. Now question is, which fields you can update? Which fields we can update? We can update the fields of the record on which workflow rule is met, or we can update its master record field. So which fields you can update? The record on which workflow rule is met, we can update the fields of that record, or we can update the fields of its master record. So whenever the workflow rule is met, we can update the fields of its record, or to update its master record fields. Let me give use case here. Let us take the use case. First one, I have create record in which I have the fields like limit, user limit, available balance. Then second object we have payment, where we have amount. Then we had, let us say, mode of payment. We have a pick list here, which is cash. So these are the two objects what we have, credit card object and payment object. Both of them are connected by master detail relationship. So we have a credit card object, we have a payment object. Both these objects are connected by master detail relationship. Now let us see this example. First let me create a data model. So we have a credit card object. In the credit card object, what are the fields we require? Let us see my fields are available or not. We only have status. So let me create rest of the two fields. New, create a pick list. It's not pick list, let us say currency. Available limit. Then we have another field, user limit, which is also currency. Right. Now, so in the credit card object, we have three fields here. Status of the card, available limit, use limit. Let us assume go to the payment object. When you go to the payment object, so what are the fields we have? On which credit card, who is the customer, mode of payment, amount. So this is the data what is available. Now I was creating some data here. Let us say credit card available limit is 70,000, use limit is 0 rupees. Similarly, let me go with the customer. See, are there any customer records? Yes. Now what was my requirement? Whenever we make a new payment, automatically, if I make a new payment, whenever new payment is made, whenever a new payment is made, reduce available balance. Oh, sorry. Increase available balance by amount and reduce user limit by amount. So we want to make a field update. So whenever a new payment is made, automatically try to modify the values of credit card, user limit field and available balance field. These are the two fields which I want to update. So let us see the requirement, how to achieve this one. Setup, build, create, workflows and approvals, workflow rules, workflows and approvals, workflow fields. Then I'm going with new rule. Choose the object. My object is payment object. So go back to the payment. Next, rule name, new payment. So whenever we are making a payment, then what is the criteria? Whenever a new payment is made, then what is the evaluation criteria? I want to choose formula. What is the formula? Is null, not of, is null of amount. If the amount field is not null, if amount field is not null, then check it. So run this condition whenever the amount is not null. So what is the action you want to perform? We want to perform an action of field update. So new field update. A new field update. So what we got here? So limit update. Now it is asking which field you can update. I can update my fields. Right now the workflow rule is written on payment object. We can update payment record fields or its master record. For the payment, customer and credit card are the masters. So we can update any one of its field. Right now my requirement is to update credit card available limit. So whenever a new payment is made, increment the available balance by amount. So show the now insert the field amount plus available balance. Go to card details, available limit. Save it. Similarly, I also ask you to make one more field update. New workflow action, field update, use limit update. Credit card. We want to reduce user limit by amount. So what should I do? Use formula. Then insert field, card details, user limit minus. So what was the condition? Whenever the workflow rule is met, automatically perform an action of field update. Whenever the workflow rule is met, automatically perform the action of field update. So which fields you are updating? You are updating the fields of the record, or you can update the fields of its master record. So I'm activating it. Activate. So go to the payment. Before going to the payment, check out what is the available limit on 003. User limit is 0. Available limit is 70. To make it more meaningful, let's see. User limit is 50,000. Available limit is 70,000. So go to the payment. Make a new payment. Choose the credit card 303. Customer Kiran. Then I have given online 666. So I have created this record. Once the record is created, go back to the master record and check out the value. Available limit is 76. User limit is 43,334. What was this? Whenever a new payment record is created, automatically modify the values of the record. This is one of the examples. Now, to make it more meaningful, let me explain some more scenarios. Now, I have a requirement like this. Whenever a trial version is started, automatically after 29 days, update the status equal to closed. After 29 days, the account should be deactivated. If anybody creates a trial account, after 29 days, the trial account has to be closed. So what I want to perform field update. When I want to perform the field update, once the trial version is created, after 29 days, on 29th day, I want the account to be deactivated. So what I want to do, make active field as false. When you make active field as false, automatically account is going to be deactivated. Now, right boss? Now I have one more requirement. Whenever anybody makes payment, if you are making a transaction on a credit card, the moment you make a payment, automatically add bonus points. Add the bonus point. So whenever a new payment is made, automatically calculate the bonus points, add it to the customer. So what we want to do, this action should happen automatically. So at the back end, if you want some modification to be happen on the record on timely basis, or when a record is created or a record is modified, then we use workflow field updates. Any further queries from your end? Any further queries from your end? People have followed this. When a condition is met, modify the value in the record. Then I asked, which fields can be modified? You can modify the fields of the record on which you are creating a workflow rule, or you can modify its master record fields. Any further queries on this? Anyone has any queries? Am I clear with this? Anyone has any queries? Am I clear with this? Right. So let me go with the next part of the story. Listen to this requirement. Understand this requirement. One of the business use case. Yes, we can do that. So same example I'm trying to explain, So listen to this requirement carefully. Now, I have a condition. Look at this. I have, let us say, student object, city. These are the fields what I have. In a student object, I have a city and field. I created a workflow rule number 1. My rule says, if city equal to Hyderabad, then make field update. If the city equal to Hyderabad, make field update. What is that update? Fee equal to 4,000. Now, I have created one more workflow rule on the same object. What is that? On the same student object, I am creating one more workflow rule. What was that? If fee is greater than 5,000, make a field update, city equal to Bangalore. Now, there are two rules here. Workflow 1, workflow 2. The rule number 1 says, if city equal to Hyderabad, make a field update, fee equal to 4,000. Rule number 2 says, if fee is greater than 5,000, make a field update, city equal to Bangalore. There are two workflow rules written on same object. So, evaluation criteria says, created and every time edited. The evaluation criteria says, created and every time it is edited. Created and every time it is edited. Now, let me say I have a test record. Let me give you. I have created a test record. I have created a test record. My test record is Satish, Hyderabad, 7,000. This is the record what I created. So when I create a record, which rule is going to run first? On a same object, there are two workflow rules. On a same object, there are two workflow rules. Workflow 1, workflow 2. Which rule is going to run first? If this rule is running first, city equal to Hyderabad, yes, then fee equal to 4,000. When I make fee equal to 4,000, if I check the second condition, fee greater than 5,000. So condition is false, this will not run. Suppose if this rule is running first, if second rule is running first, then fee is greater than 5,000, yes, condition is true. Then field update, city equal to Bangalore. Then update the value of field to Bangalore. When you update, when I check the rule number 1, the condition is false. So the question here, which rule is going to run first? Which rule is going to run first? So to verify this, understand the flow, boss. Understand the flow clearly. When I create Satish, Hyderabad, 7,000. When I create this, step number 1. In the first step, what they do? Step number 1, check workflow 1 rule. Only check the rule, not action. Workflow 1, check workflow 1 rule. What is that? City equal to Hyderabad. Yes. Then check workflow 2 rule. Fee is greater than 5,000. Right? So all the rules are verified. After checking all the rules, then step number 2, make workflow 1 field update. What is workflow 1 field update? Is going to make Satish, Hyderabad. Then make workflow 2 field update. So what was this? Satish, Bangalore. So what is the output we got here? My output is Satish, Bangalore, 4,000. So what is the order of their execution? All the rules are verified first. In the step number 1, all the rules are verified without performing any action. In the step number 1, all the rules are verified without performing any action. In the step number 1, all the rules are verified without performing their action. So workflow number 1 is verified, don't perform action. Workflow number 2 is verified, don't perform action. Once all the rules are verified, then it is going to perform their corresponding action. That is how we got workflow 1 field update, workflow 2 field update. Both the actions are performed. I repeat the point. All the rules are verified first. After checking all the rules, then the rules which are meeting the condition, those actions are performed next. So verify the rule first. Then once you have compared all the rules, then it goes to the action. Any further queries on this? Any further queries on this? People are clear with this format? Right. Now, let me explain the same scenario one more time. Workflow 1, I said, if mode of payment is online, make field update. Tax equal to 2000. Then I took second condition. If mode of payment is, if tax is greater than 1000, if tax is greater than 1000, make a field update. Let us say amount equal to if amount is greater than 5000, field update status. So there are three rules what I have. Mode equal to online, then tax equal to 2000. If tax is greater than 1000, then amount equal to 5000. If amount is greater than 4000, status equal to active. This is the three conditions what we have. Then I created a record, Satish, online, Satish online, tax is 500, amount is 4000. So this is a record what we create. Now tell me which is going to run. So according to our format, what will happen? Step number 1. In the step number 1, verify all the rules. Workflow 1. What is workflow 1? Mode equal to online. Yes. Condition is true. Don't perform action. Go to workflow number 2. Tax greater than 1000. Condition is false. Amount greater than 4000. Condition is false. Then after verifying all the conditions, go to step number 2. In the step number 2, only the rules which are meeting the condition in step number 1, those actions are performed. So what happened? Workflow 1, field update action is performed. That's the reason we're going to get output as Satish online 2000 4000. This is the output what we are going to get. I hope people have followed my conditions. Any further queries? Any further queries? Right. So let me go to the next one. Right. Now, when you're making a field update, let me give you one more example here. When you're trying to create a field update, so look at this. Setup. I was trying to make a field update. When I was trying to make a field update, there was an option here. Re-evaluate workflow rule after field change. re-evaluate workflow rules after field change. There's a condition called re-evaluate workflow rules after field change. What is the use of this? Let me explain this condition. Workflow 1, amount greater than 5,000, make field update. Amount equal to amount plus 5,000. Then we have workflow 2, amount greater than 10,000, field update. This is third one. Right, boss. So there are 3 workflow rules what I have created. Now there is 3 checkbox. What is that? Re-evaluate. So there are 3 rules. So someone has given what is this? Now, yeah. Now we'll understand why I have taken 3. No, look at the point. Action can be same. Action can be same, but the rules are different, right? Right. In the first condition, the re-evaluate is false. Second condition, re-evaluate is false. In all the 3 cases, I have chosen re-evaluate equal to false. That means you never enable this. Now what is the use of this re-evaluate? It says because of my rule, if there is any field update, recheck the other rules which are false earlier. They are saying because of my rule, if there is any field update, recheck the remaining rules which are failure earlier. It says because of my rule, if there are any field updates, recheck the remaining rules which are failed earlier. Recheck the rules which are failed earlier. So look at this. I created a record. Satish, amount is 6,000. When I created this record, it's going to check all the 3 conditions. So when you check all the 3 conditions, what happened? Rule number 1, rule number 2, rule number 3. 3 workflow rules are verified. When all the 3 workflow rules are verified, workflow 1, 2. Amount greater than 5,000, condition is true. Then workflow 2, amount greater than 10,000, condition is false. The third one, amount greater than 15,000, condition is false. So only workflow rule number 1 is true. When the workflow rule number 1 is true, make a field update action. What was the action? Amount equal to amount plus 5,000. So the record has become Satish 11,000. Now record has become Satish 11,000. When the record has become Satish 11,000, what is happening? Rule number 1 is true, 2 is false, 3 is false. Only the rules which are meeting the condition, their actions are performed. So Satish 6,000 plus 5,000, it has become 11,000. Now, if I check the rule now, workflow number 2 will be true. Earlier the workflow number 2 is false because it's only 6,000. Now if I check the rule, it will be true. But the question is, should I check the rule again or not? Because of any workflow rule, if the value in the field is modified, should I recheck the workflow rule again or not? Because of the workflow rule, if any one of the value in the field is modified, because of the workflow rule, if any one of the value in the field is modified, should I check the remaining rules again or not is the question. Now it says re-evaluate. I didn't select the re-evaluate. If I don't select the re-evaluate, don't check the workflow rule again. Because of my workflow rule, if there is any field update, don't check the workflow rules again. So what happened? Don't check the condition. So it is Satish 11,000, end of the game. We have closed it. The same if I am putting here. Same if I am putting here. Same I am putting here. Look at this. Workflow number 1, I kept true. Re-evaluate. Workflow number 2, false. Now, for the workflow number 1, they told re-evaluate condition is true. Now I created a sample record. My record is Satish 6,000. The same record I created now. When I created the same record, again what happened? Verify rule number 1, rule number 2, rule number 3. Rule number 1 verified. Workflow number 1. What is workflow number 1? Amount greater than 5,000. Amount greater than 5,000. Yes, true. Again check the rule number 2. When you check rule number 2, amount greater than 10,000, condition is false. Again check the third condition.
Satish, it's 6,000, not 60, I suppose.
Yes, you are right. Workflow number 3, false. Now, I created workflow 1, 2, 3. Workflow number 1, amount greater than 5,000. Yes, condition is true. Workflow number 2, amount greater than 10,000. Condition is false. Workflow number 3, amount greater than 15,000. Condition is false. Now, only one rule is meeting. After verifying all the rules, only one rule is meeting. Make a field update. What is field update? Amount equal to plus. So the record has become now Satish 11,000. Now the record is updated. Satish 11,000. Now the record is updated. Satish 11,000. Now the question is, should I recheck the remaining rules because of the workflow rule, the value in the field is modified. When the value in the field is modified, should I recheck the remaining rules or not? Then it told because of the workflow number 1, if there is any field update, re-evaluate the condition. When you say re-evaluate, recheck the remaining rules which are failed earlier. So I'm going to recheck the conditions workflow number 2. When you recheck the condition workflow number 2, because which are failure? Workflow number 2 and 3 are failure. Recheck these two conditions. When you recheck workflow number 2, amount greater than 10,000. Yes, amount is greater than 10,000. True. Then go to the second one. I'm taking here. Workflow number 3, amount greater than 15,000. Condition is false. So Which condition is true? Only workflow number 2 is true. As workflow number 2 is true, make a field update. When you make a field update, what is the value that we have? Amount equal to amount plus 5,000. So it has Satish 17,000. Now there is a field update. Because of workflow number 2, there is a field update. When there is a field update because of rule number 2, it is asking, should I recheck the condition? Then it said re-evaluate equal to false. It told, because of me, if there is any field update, don't recheck the workflow rules. Don't recheck the workflow rules. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to check again. Suppose if this is not false, this is true. If this is true, what happened? If there is any field update because of me, recheck the workflow rules which are failed earlier. When you say recheck the workflow rules which are failed earlier, then what happened? Recheck the remaining condition. What are the remaining condition which is failed? Workflow number 1 is true. Workflow number 2 is true. Then there is only one condition which is left out. That is workflow number 3. So check the condition again. Amount greater than 15,000, yes, true. If it is true, then make a field update action. Let us become Satish 22,000. Now, even if I enable re-evaluate condition for 3, there are no failure condition. Already 1 is true, 2 is true, 3 is true. So what is the purpose of the re-evaluate? If you enable this option, because of that workflow rule, if there are any modifications on the field, then it will recheck the remaining rules which are failed earlier. Because of the workflow rule, if there are any modifications in the values of the field, it will recheck the workflow rules which are failed earlier. I hope I am clear with this format. Any further queries? People have followed this condition?
A small doubt.
Yes.
If we reevaluate the third one,
Yeah.
and because of that, any of the prior conditions becomes false, so do it reevaluate or it won't consider?
See,
I mean
order
to
is
say,
order is not important. Order is not important. Now the conditions what I have taken, so the scenario what I have taken, it is giving you sequence order, but it may be,
yeah,
it may or may not be having the same sequence, right? So it's not the important sequence.
Suppose in rule 1, the amount must be greater than 5,000 and it's less than, you can say, 11,000, 10,000. So when we go to the rule number 2, this one will become the false, right? The first rule. So when we make the third one reevaluate as true, then will that check for the first rule again? Because it's false.
Once the rule is true, it is not going to cross check it again one more time. So if you observe here, W1 is true. I only verified W2 and W3. Right. So in the third case, I am only verifying W3. So when you say re-evaluate, it only re-evaluate the conditions which are failed in the step. If once it is true, it is true. We don't check it once. In a process, the rule will be executed only once.
Okay.
Let me give you.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay, right. Any further queries from anyone? Any further queries from anyone? Right. So let me give you one more quick scenario. Workflow one says.
Just one information.
Yes.
So this rule can be applied to only one flow. Only in one workflow we can do this thing. But if I want to have like the same kind of function with two workflows, like kind of same action.
See, now these field update actions are available only in workflows,
One workflow.
process builders, and approval process. But if the similar action need to be performed, we can achieve this using trigger concept.
Okay.
So I'll just automated actions. Automated actions are available in 4 formats. One is in the form of workflows. Other is process builder. Third is approval process. Fourth is, these are the 4 ways in which we can achieve this concept. The same action can be achieved in all the 4 ways. But these are declarative. This is programmatic. So if you don't want to go with the declarative, there's alternate way of implementing, that is programmatic approach. Okay. Now let me re-explain one more scenario. City equal Hyderabad. We have field update. So like this we have. Now re-evaluate false. Re-evaluate false. Re-evaluate false. In the 3 cases they have given false. Now I have created a record. Satish. Let us say Satish, Hyderabad, 1000 taxis. So this is the record what I created. Note. Now when I created this record, first all the rules are verified. When all the rules are verified, workflow number 1, condition is 2, workflow number 2, false, workflow number 3, let us say this is 4. Now workflow number 3, verified. Now verified, all the rules which are true, their actions are performed. What is their action performed? Satish, 20,000. Satish, 20,000. Hyderabad. Second action also performed. When second action performed, again Satish, Hyderabad, 20,000. It's not more, no more Hyderabad, it's Bangalore now. Bangalore, 20,000. Now it is asking. Now there is an update. There is an update because of the workflow number 1 and workflow number 3. But they said if because of the workflow number 1, if there is any field update, don't recheck the condition. Again, the second one, they say because of the workflow number 2, if there is any field update, because of the workflow number 3, if there is any field update, don't recheck the condition. They told because of my rule, if there is any field update, don't cross check the existing rules. Don't cross check the existing rules. So what happened? So finally we are going to get the output as Satish Bangalore 2000, 20,000 and 400. This is the output what we are getting. Because they told because of any workflow rule, if there is any field modification, don't recheck the condition. Suppose I kept this as true. Now they said because of the workflow number 3, if there is any field update, recheck the rules which are failure earlier. So which rule is failure? There is only one rule which is fail. So only check W number 3. When you check amount greater than 5,000, yes. Then make a field update. Suppose let us assume this is also true. Now workflow number is 2. When we say true, it's going to make Satish Bangalore 20,000, that is 3,000. Then if there is any field update because of the workflow number 2, recheck the remaining rules which are failure. Now which rules are failure? 1 is already true, 3 is already true, 2 is already true. So there is no rule which is not yet executed on the record. Once the rule is executed on the record, don't consider that rule anymore. Once the record is once on a record, if the rule has executed, we will not be considering that rule anymore. Once on a record, if a rule is executed, we don't consider that rule anymore. We leave that. So already 1 and 3 are already executed. So we don't consider 1 and 3. We only consider number 2. Once the number 2 is met, it has also executed. So when we say re-evaluate, there are no rules which are failure now. So finally what happened? Satish, Bangalore, 20,000, 3,000. Am I clear? Once the rule is executed on a record, then we don't check that rule anymore in that process. I hope I'm clear with this. Any queries from anyone? Any queries? Okay. Then let us go to the next format. So we are done with the field update. So whenever the condition is met, you can update the fields of your record or you can update your master record fields. You can update your record or you can update your master record fields. Now we are trying to understand the next condition. The next condition is how to send email alert. How to send email alert when a criteria is met. So I am going to define a rule. Once the rule is met, send email notification. Once the rule is met, send email notification. So how to send an email notification, we have to see. If you want to send email notification, we need to create email template first. If you want to send an email notification, we need to create email template, or else choose any one of the existing email template. If you want to send any one of the existing email template, you can send it. No, according to your business requirement. You want to create some email template and send it. Yes, create that email template and send it. According to your business requirement, you want to create some email template and send it. Create that email template. No, any one of the existing email template is already suitable to your business requirement. Then you can send the same email template. So let us understand how to create that email template. Setup, build, First let me create email template. Setup, administer. Then we have communication templates, email templates, new email template. Choose the template type as text. Then create the email template. So what we have here, available for use, yes. Choose the folder in which you want. I kept in unified public folder so that everyone can access it. I kept in a unified public folder so that everyone can access it. Then creating. We are sending payment confirmation mail. Subject. Now we want to send email. So what is the body of the email? So what is the body you want to create? So understand the body. Create the body here. So I'm creating here, dear customer. So we are giving here, we have received. So we have received. So which one? Whichever the record that is meeting the condition, whichever the record on which the workflow rule is running, that record data we want to take. Whichever the record on whichever the record is meeting the workflow rule, whichever the record is meeting the workflow rule, the same record data we want to take. So go to this. So we are using payment fields. First let me take amount. So copy that. Now the record on which the workflow rule is running, that record fields. We received amount of 1000 by which mode? Cash or online, whatever the mode. By so and so mode. Now I created a template. Here, right? So save it. Validation error. Template unique name already exists. Okay. Right. Now we created a template. Now what we want to do? We want to send this template in the workflow. So build, create workflow rules. New workflow rule. Payment alerts. Whenever a new payment is created, then I told if mode of payment is cash, then make an action. What is an action you want to make? Email alert. So payment alert. So choose the template. Choose the email template. We just created payment confirmations. Then choose to whom you want to send. I want to send it to Satish. Apart from this list of users, if you want to send email to any other users, we can enter those email IDs here. Apart from the given group of email IDs, apart from this group of users, if you want to send email to any other users, give their email IDs here. Then save it. Then done. Right to it. So go to my mail ID. Now create a new record. Go to payment. I think what is the mode I give? Payment cash. Right. So see here, we received an email confirmation. Customer, we have received an amount of 6,000 by cash. Thanks sales team. So what was this? Email notification. So when a condition is met, automatically we want to send some email notification. Then we use workflow email alerts. So whenever the condition is met, if you want to send any email notification, then we use workflow email alerts. Per day, user can send 1,000 emails. Organization can send 20 lakh emails. So per day, user can send 1,00,000. User can send 1,000 emails. Organization can send 20 lakh emails. Now, if any email failed due to the day limit, that email will not be resent, that will be discarded. If any email failed due to the day limit, that emails will not be requeued, they will be discarded. That means they are cancelled. They will not be resent. Am I clear with this format? People have followed this?